You already know we don't talk prior to this. I'm ready for you. I've been waiting for you. So I don't even want to waste no time getting right to it. Getting right to it. BX born and raised. BX born and raised. Talk about it, man. Talk about who put the ball in your hand. Tell me who you was watching to get this love for the game. Take me there, man. Take me back in the day with you.
Man, I guess I was take after my name. I guess. I mean that was the first thing. I think me getting ready coming to this world, and my my mom is looking at a Sports Illustrated book and a magazine, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is on the cover. So I
Okay.
guess that's where my name came from, and I guess that's why I became a Laker fan out of out of the womb.
Okay, that's what's up, Mom. Shout out to Mom for that. Shout out to Mom for that. Okay.
Yes.
So talk about growing up, man. Like, nowadays, kids got trainers, you know, all types of stuff. Back in our day, you played in the park, you earned your stripes in the park. You know what I mean? You earned your way onto the court. Talk about what it was like just having parks on every corner and going outside and honing your craft.
I guess that's what that's where it came from. Rewind it to when we were growing up. Like you said, big shout outs to all the trainers out there. Giving out that knowledge and working on kids' craft and making them better. But like I said, I grew up on Burnside Avenue. Where Cedar Park is, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you know Cedar Park, that's where hip hop. When they talk about the Bronx, this is where hip
Yeah.
hop was. So,
Yes, sir.
it was times where I couldn't even play basketball because, you got the DJs and stuff playing music
Right.
in the park and things like that. So just growing up on Burnside Avenue gave me the love, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, with the guys that were, older than me playing in the parks and stuff like this. I didn't know nothing. No, I didn't know anything about Harlem basketball or Brooklyn basketball. It was just right there in my area. Me growing up, 8, 9 years old, going to the park, watching some of the guys in my neighborhood, and then one day just playing at State Park, and things like that. River Park, it was not Riverbank, it was Roberto Clemente, where
Okay.
the Towers is, and just going down there and working and playing, and actually a guy that I call my brother Warren. He's down there at the Virginia area now, he's coaching and stuff like that. He really he had gassed me up one day, told me he was taking me to 125th Street to get some sneakers.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, yeah, let's go.
Okay.
I end up in Salem Church, which a lot of guys, back in my days it was Young Life. This is where
Mm-hmm.
the basketball team Young Life. Big shout outs to Leroy Otis and Thurman Player and things like that. Had a program in Salem Church, and I got there and they only had 9 people, and everybody was mad because they wanted to play full court, and I was there. So he was like, "Yo, come on, get dressed or whatever. You make 10." And I guess that was history, man. Like that, and that was the start of Kareem Reid. Them being short of a man, and me
Mm-hmm.
filling in that day, and that's where it all started for me.
So, like before I come on, I'm a basketball historian, but I always learn things about my guests and stuff that I didn't even know. So I know you went to St. Ray's, you know what I mean?
But
But
I went to
I
first.
gotta, yeah, I gotta rewind a little bit and talk about the great Talentine. I don't want people to forget about Talentine, Red Autry, Brian Reese, the late Malik Sealy.
Yes,
My man Wayman Boone went to Talentine. You
big
understand what I'm
win,
saying?
boom, big
Babe
boom,
Boone went, yeah. So that's
big
my dude
boom.
right there. Yeah. So I
Yes,
remember Talentine. My man Kareem Porter was there. You know what I mean? Like these are
yes,
all
yeah.
names before
Mm-hmm.
Talentine closed. So you were supposed to go to
Biggs,
Talentine.
Kareem,
Yeah.
Kareem, Biggsburg. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rock
So you
Hill.
supposed to go there. So talk about what happened. You at Talentine, you ready to go to Talentine. Now it closes. And
No,
now you got to just
I did my first year. People didn't
okay.
yeah. I did
Okay.
I did my first year. We was 35-1. We won the JV. I won a JV championship at Talentine
Okay.
with Elvis Blunt, Russ, Bernard Wheeler, Bobby Gonzalez that used to coach at Providence
Yeah.
and stuff like that. He was my coach. He was our ninth grade coach. So
Okay.
we won the JV championship where we finished 35-1. And 2 weeks after the championship game, I'm coming to school like a normal day or whatever, and I see people out there crying. I see the news van in front of Talent Time. So I I'm seeing some of the seniors, like the names that you named, Boone and all them, outside saying the school is closed. So it was like a regular school day. We coming to school, Sean Wise, everybody, we all used to meet at the store, stuff like that, across the street from Talent Time. And we're in the bodega trying to hide from the news van because we don't want to do no interviews about our school closing.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So I took a after that I took a day to I was lost. I guess 35, 40 basketball players were lost, not knowing what they were gonna do. And people was enrolling and stuff like that. And me going down to Riverside to practice one night. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna do it. I want to know where I'm gonna go to school at, and decide where I'm gonna go to school at. Never had St. Raymond's in mind, because I didn't, me looking at St. Raymond's, I didn't think I fit. Or, they had guys there, whatever, things like that. And God bless Mr. Lloyd, she came and said, Gary DeCesar said he don't want nobody but you. So it was, I'm like, huh? Me and, like I said, because St. Ray's, when I was picking up high school, St. Ray's wasn't in, I never heard about St. Raymond's. I mean, I heard about St. Raymond's, but it wasn't no interest or whatever in them. It was, Hollows and Hayes and Talent Time, those are schools or whatever that I guess that was really, recruiting me or whatever you want to say it. And when he said that, I said, huh? So I sat down with Coach DeCesar, and it was history after that. I met some of the guys. I went up to New Rochelle that summer. He played with them in New Rochelle before the season started. And I was like, okay, let me give it a try or whatever. And, a week into 2 weeks into school year, I'm thinking I'm there, because they loaded.
Yeah.
They just had won the championship. They just had won the city and state championship. I know that Terrence and them was graduating, but they still had, team coming back with Dana Dingle and all the senior led team. So I didn't know where I fit in at. G. Irvin, yeah. So one day I got in the office. I'm coming where rewind that. We going to workouts, and I'm seeing everybody. Tom Penders, the Jerry Boehenheins, all the Big East coaches, and this is just workout. This is us lifting weights and just playing open gym. But I'm seeing all these coaches in the gym, and I'm like, wow, you know what I'm saying? So one day Gary came. I had a meeting with Gary. He's like, what you want to do? You want to play JV again and just dominate? You already got a JV championship, or you want to play varsity and sit behind some guys and learn? And I'm like, man, I want to learn. You know what I'm saying? I want to get big fan. You know what I'm saying? We top 10 in the team is top 10 in the country. I'm looking at the schedule. I'm like, man, I want to. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, okay, I play 10th grade. You know what I'm saying? I play and earn my stripes, and then for 2 years it'll be, it'll work itself out. Like I said, still probably not having that big aspirations of college. Not knowing where I stand, and got a chance to, play my sophomore year.
Absolutely. So talk about learning, man. I done had Book on here. I done had Terrence Wrench on here. I got Reggie Freeman about to come on here. Like I'm an honorary St. Ray's right now. I feel like I got everybody from St. Ray's on the show. But talk about that. Like Terrence went out to Texas and kind of started that New York City to Texas pipeline. You know what I mean? Then High Five went out to Texas. And all y'all.
And it's funny because we was on the chat last night.
Yeah.
And those are my guys.
Yeah.
The left hand crew.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Big shout out to T Wrencher, man. Like, I really had a great talk with him last night. And that's we haven't had one of those in a while. You know what I'm saying? That was one of my my role models growing up. Left hand Terrell Dozier. So I wanted going to St. Ray's. I wanted to follow his footsteps. But that was I told him it was Arkansas or Texas.
Oh, really? Okay, we're gonna get to that. Don't jump on me. So hold on now. So back-to-back city championships, which we know is hard to do. You understand what I'm saying? State chip your junior year, Okay, but back-to-back city championships your junior and senior year.
No, we lost my senior year. We
Oh,
did.
you
We lost.
did?
We lost to Felipe, my senior year.
Okay,
So
okay,
back-to-back cities.
okay. So back-to-back cities. Okay, so now 1994 senior year, McDonald's All-American game, and it's being played at St. John's.
Yes.
So not only now, this is back when it wasn't no McDonald's All-American game if you ain't have no New York City dudes up in there. It wasn't no McDonald's game if you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So basically that's Felipe's year. Everybody know that.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Felipe, you got Zendon, they both going to St. John's, and now you in the game.
Yeah.
I'm a little salty that you ain't go to St. John's. I'm gonna be honest with you. But
it
you made
was
the right choice. You made the right
yeah,
choice,
yeah.
though.
It was
You know what I mean?
I mean
But it was just electric because I watched the game this morning. I had to put the clip online. I watched the game this morning, and you know what I mean? Like it was a different ball game when you got in. They let Wojciechowski started the game, but then when you came in there, it was like, nah, we in the city. We're not walking the ball up.
Yeah.
And you was just playing Kareem Reid basketball. So like talk about that experience when you got on that stage, man.
I guess before that stage, I mean, we was having to talk with people and kids these days, where picking a school and it doesn't fit them, So it goes back to me picking Arkansas, you know what I'm saying, like that. But before the McDonald game, before that was me up tempo. That was who made Kareem.
Right.
When me growing up and not starting in some games, so I was always the game changer when I got in the game.
Right.
So that was, it fits right with my nickname. I was a secret because
right.
I was, growing up, I was 6 or 7 man, maybe coming off or whatever. Freshman year, talent time, I was a 6 man. You know what I'm saying? So I was always I guess the best kept secret fit the name.
Right.
But it wasn't, it was an honor to be there. And I said, if I got in there, I was gonna show out, especially in my city. You know what I'm saying? So it was hard work to get there. Like I don't know if I would have made it, if Iverson didn't happen. That didn't happen with Iverson, AI,
Right. Yeah.
Not taking away from what I did. That's something I got in a year and a half. Like I said, I was city and state champion, came back and defended my championship. I won 17 MVPs in a row. So it was like just me getting in an announcement that I was a McDonald All-American.
Right.
That was it right there for me. You know what I'm saying? But I knew in the Garden, I was going to show everybody. I wanted to do that anyway, but it was in my home, so I already knew when I came in, I was going to turn up.
Yeah.
I knew that. You know what I'm saying? Like I got my neighborhood there. I got, I'm still undecided. Everybody else signed. I still had a chip on my shoulder that, I didn't know if I was going to make it, and me being a finalist for the, people don't even know that. I talked about it the other day. It was like, they were saying I should have got MVP of the game. The people and everybody, because what I did with, I probably, like I said, I had everybody. Even Felipe gave me a big shout out during his interview.
He did. Nah, he definitely did, because you came in there and what you always did was you showed people you can score. The knock on you was always the jump shot, but you came in there, it was knocking down threes. Like, you know what I mean?
Threes down, right?
You was knocking down threes. So, but then you always set the table for others. That's what you did. That was your specialty. Let me break you down, get in the lane, and I'm gonna dish off, and that's what you did. But it was the pace of the game for me. When I watched it today, the pace changed so much. You know what I mean? The off the backboard alley-oop, the grid, like, you know what I mean? So all that came into effect. And now it comes down to Texas and Arkansas now.
Well, yeah,
Both, and to me, you really couldn't have made a bad choice with the style of play. Both styles of play really, really fit you. Tell the viewers what put you over the top with Arkansas.
I mean, them just being loyal and faithful to me, and you can see now, 19 years removed, just getting a degree from that university. So, it was just Coach Richardson, man. Coach Richardson, Coach Anderson, and the staff, and the team, they showed me love because I didn't have my score.
Yes.
So, I didn't have my score, and a lot of schools backed up off me. And California, University of Cal, and Texas stayed loyal through the whole time. You know, big shout out to Coach Penders and Coach Bozeman at that time at California. You know, it's funny, Jason Kidd and Tony Gonzalez was my host at the University of California.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was crazy, but yeah, I fell in love spring break here. If anybody knows Fayetteville in 1994, spring 95, spring break, it was nobody there. You know, they were just coming back from qualifying to go to the Final Four.
Yeah.
And I took my visit in between that time.
Okay.
So it was dope. You know what I'm saying? Me getting to see when they arrive at the airport, 3,000 fans there. You know what I'm saying? At late at night when they arrive, you know, just the charisma that Coach Richardson had. You know, he kept it real with me. You know, at that time, legendary black coach. You know, he came on Burnside Avenue. You know, like I said, anybody knew me, all my visits happened at the school. You know, I didn't have a good house upbringing, so in my neighborhood, we wasn't bringing coaches in my neighborhood. So one night at 9:30 at night, Coach Richardson rose up in my neighborhood, and I mean, I think that sealed the deal. Where he disobeyed Coach Richardson. I mean, well, he didn't listen to Coach Caesar's wishes.
Right.
He said, "I want to know this. I want to go know this kid. You know, I want to really see what this kid is." And I think, you know, when I got back on the plane, it was it. When I got home to New York, Coach DeCesar like, "What you doing?" I said, "I'm going to Arkansas." He's like, "Man, what's going on?" You know what I'm saying? But not knowing we came down here, you know, Coach DeCesar was very strategic what he did. Like, you know, you got it from Book and you got it from Terrence.
Yeah.
Like, his mind game was preparing us for when we hit the wall. You know, times when we hit the wall. So it's always, you know, I say Gary DeCesar changed my life, man. He helped me tremendously.
Absolutely, no doubt. So you get out to Arkansas. You know what I mean? They a year or two removed from winning the national championship. You had to sit out that first
So
year.
we won. Yeah, they won it, and then the year I got here,
They lost the championship game, right?
Yeah, the day school started, they said I was ineligible. So that whole year, I had to go through. If I was there, you know what I'm saying? Coach Richardson used to say, because I didn't get to practice with them or anything. So Coach Richardson used to always say, "Man, if I had my point guard, we'll be undefeated." This and that, and then, you know, me to hear that in the national championship when we lose, you know what I'm saying? Because we needed a game. At that time. The game was changing. We needed a game changer, and I guess I would have been the game changer. But you know, I was mad about that. So I guess that's what made me come back and get SEC Freshman of the Year the next year.
Absolutely.
And take 9 freshmen. Myself and 8 freshmen went to the Sweet 16 game against UMass.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, so I know, like, you formed a good relationship and bond with Scotty Thurman while you were out there. And, you know, Scotty's an Arkansas legend. I obviously hit one of the biggest shots in history, in Arkansas history. Yeah. And a lot of people don't remember Scotty Thurman, but Scotty Thurman was nice too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So like you said, your numbers out there.
Curtis Williamson.
Ooh, Clint McDaniel, all them dudes, man.
Yes.
All them.
I mean,
that 40 minutes of hell, man.
I wish I would have got a chance to play with that team, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. So you went in there, your numbers have always been the same. Like, you know, if you need to put the ball in the basket, you could do that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But you were a point guard first.
Yes.
So your numbers, 11 points, 6, 7 assists. That was Kareem Reid. So, but if you take my 11 points and my 7 assists, I'm getting 25 a game. You understand what I'm saying? And you got to balance out the two, because other people got to get involved. When you take somebody like, you take somebody like Pat Bradley.
Yeah, but that was always,
yeah.
That was my game, like you said. And then some games you see in the city championship 38, state championship 35. When I needed to score, I can score. But my whole thing was, of course, growing up, my role models, Magic Johnson and Kenny Anderson. So I used to see Raj Strickland, I see them do a fancy pass and get the crowd.
Yeah.
Or the pass, they see the big man, reward the big man. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
it was always a team thing with me. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it was funny because even me going overseas, the same numbers and stuff like that. And, you know, some nights I have it going and I'm scoring or they going under and I'm hitting threes. And the president came to me, it was funny, in France, and was like, man, we didn't know you could score like this. I said, I didn't need to.
Right.
You know, I didn't
Right.
need to. You don't pay me for that. You know,
Right.
you know what? And at 5'9", 5'10", who was going? You know, they don't make scorers like that. You know, and things
Mm-hmm.
like that. You know, so my thing was, I know for me to continue and to succeed in life, I had to be a distributor.
Absolutely, and you did that well. So I'm looking in the record books. Every single assist record in
Yeah,
Arkansas,
that's what.
you sit at number one. Every assist,
Yes,
ever since you've been going for over 20 years now,
yes,
and you sit on top of every single assist record in Arkansas history, which has a rich tradition. And then
yes,
I looked at there's 10 single game assist record, and you got 5 out of the 10 of them.
yes.
Talk about what that means to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and you lost a year down there. You understand what I'm saying? Like, talk about what that meant to you as a point, as a point guard. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because that's what a point guard is supposed to do first in that time, was get everybody else involved. And that just goes to show that you did exactly what you were supposed to do.
Yeah, and that's like you just said. That's what, and probably never, like you said, kids or see guys, they look for that. And we were talking about, I think we had a conversation, us and some other guys had a conversation about that the other day. And I'm like, and I always tease everybody, like, I'm still, after that, it's going to be hard to touch that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with
Mm-hmm.
with the game, how the game changed or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, it's been standing there for, 19 years. And I broke a legendary, like you said, you look at that Lee Mayberry, a guy like that, so I broke his record. And it was a big honor for me to even be in the ballpark because he was considered the best point guard ever to play at University of Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. He was tough.
So, a kid from, New York City to lead a major university, University of Arkansas, and assist and still hold that record. And like you
Mm-hmm.
said, it was a great accomplishment for me. You know what I'm saying? So even right now, I go around and I brag, and it's a kid down and now here, or when I meet the new guard here,
Mm-hmm.
check that record. Shorty, check that record book. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Tease them because I want to give them something to look up to. But I know
Right.
it's going to be a hard thing to do.
No question about it, man. And so I'm a big advocate of the student athlete. Student first, you know what I mean? Books before ball. I'm a big advocate of that. So we talking about McDonald's All-American. We're talking about assist record at Arkansas and all this kind of stuff and money made playing this game that you love. But the thing that sticks out to me the most, and you kind of slipped in there earlier, was you came back to Arkansas and you graduated.
I had to. I guess I had to, and like you said it, and I was a big advocate. But growing up where I grew up at, and a lot where these kids grow up at, so I take that from nobody, to not get it done at that
Mm-hmm.
time. Student
Mm-hmm.
athlete. I almost wasn't here
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't take care of my grades.
Right.
That's what
Mm-hmm.
we talked about. To be sitting out my first year because
Mm-hmm.
it was books. It was basketball for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Books
Mm-hmm.
came second.
Yeah.
But not knowing that I'm going to need the books to play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Well, knowing it, but when you at that age, you think you're untouchable. You know what I'm saying? You make
Absolutely.
things like that. So, coming back was the hardest thing. But after I finished basketball, knowing the things that I wanted to do with getting back into coaching and things like that, I couldn't do it without having that degree.
And I think it says a lot for the University of Arkansas. It could be really, really easy to say, okay, well, he left, he didn't get it done. You know what I'm saying? But this goes back to you saying, Coach Richardson showed up on my block. Coach Anderson was there for me. And so when you came back, Coach
Facts.
Anderson was the head coach there and said, nah,
Head
like
coach
you're
and Scotty
still
Thurman was
family.
working here.
Yeah, you
And
still
Scotty
family
Thurman
here.
And Scotty Thurman was working with the school, and he kept saying, "Yo, come back, come back." So
Mm-hmm.
me coming back to New York and couldn't maybe handle life after basketball because now I'm not giving out them assists. Now I'm not putting them points in the basket. So it's like, okay, now what have you done for me lately? Or do you have your paperwork? With me having a team or getting a team together or helping the school out, and when the season starts, they tell me, okay, you got to go sit up in the crowd because you're not certified or you don't have your degree. So I was like, oh, no, I can't, I can't do that, and I've been coming, I usually always come back to Arkansas, and, staff and administration usually like, we're going to get you back in school. And I always, for 4 or 5 years, I'd be like, okay, I'm coming back. When I come back, because I used to always come back before I go overseas. And I get a job, or overseas a call. And this time it was, like I said, the last time it wasn't no more call. It wasn't no more call. And I showed up in coach's office with 2 bags, and I said, I'm here.
Right. Nah, that's definitely love, man. That's definitely love, man. I applaud you. I applaud you for that. I know what it's like to have to go back after years and get it. But when we talk to kids, that's the first thing that we preach is education. And it feels better when we know that we have the education to back that up. You understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are gonna say, yo, they want that life that you had of being a McDonald's All-American and being a pro player. But it's like, yo, want that piece to Kareem Reid that got that college degree as well. You know what I mean? So I talked to Terrence about that. I talked to Sham God about going back and getting his degree. That's super huge for you guys who have these big basketball auras. You know what I mean? So again, we applaud you for that, man. So, I lost track of you for a little bit, but then there was a time where like street ball was in. There was that golden era of street ball and the and one mixtapes, and then the EBC kind of became like the pro game, you know what I mean? So like all the pros wanted to get to Rucker, and it was high stakes out there. So, talk about getting into that street ball, kind of taking it back to the genesis of where you started from.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, I got a chance to about 13, 14, always to hear about it, whatever, but never could go, or it was time to get back, me playing Riverside or anything. It was time for me to get back to the Bronx. It wasn't no hanging out in Harlem. I had, I had friends and all that, but I'm from the Bronx. So it was practice game, go back to the Bronx. And one night, one of the guys on the team was like, yo, my brother playing uptown. Let's walk uptown, see my brother play. And when I seen that crowd, that atmosphere, I'm like, at 13, 14 years old, I'm like, what is this? They're like, oh, this the, because I'm hearing about the Ruck all the time, but I never really, I get to drive by or whatever and see it. But for me to experience it, I said, oh, yeah, I need to play in this. So, finishing that next year, meeting Mousy. My big shout out to my guy Mousy. Mousy
Legend.
I'm getting ready to play against Sham. Me and Sham are playing on a Saturday afternoon in Citywide, Summer Citywide, and me and Sham have one of our wars that we always have. And after the game, Mouse come up to me like, yo, what's up, man? What's going on? Lefty, I've been hearing a lot about you, what's going on, whatever. I'm like, nothing, cool and chilling, whatever. He's like, what you getting ready to do now? I'm like, I got another game up in Marble Hill. Shout out to Marble Hill, shout out to Chris Riley. And he's like, I'm gonna give you a ride up there. So I got in the car with Mouse or whatever. He gives me a ride up there, whatever. And this going into my 10th grade year. Actually, I met him some of my 9th grade year. So I go. He comes up there. I'm on the lamp line with another team. Mousy go gets a team. He asked the guy because everybody at that time, Mousy's bringing the heavy hitters, all the top high school players.
Yeah.
But I'm playing with somebody else. But he got all the high school players in the car with him, or they're in the area. He told them to hold on. And 2 hours later, I'm playing with Mousy Dream Team. and it was, it was history. We kept all winter. He kept up with me in school or whatever. And then that summer, he was like, yo, you playing with me in 55th. And it was Mousy's Dream Team. It's funny because somebody just posted when I hit that shot against Joe Smith or whatever and EBC. Yeah.
Joe Smith. Yes. Listen, we got to get to that story.
Yes.
We got to get to that story too.
So that was my, I went through the whole season, the best kept secret or Lefty or whatever. And, about the 7th game of the season, 6th game of the season, here comes Joe Smith and X-Ray Hip, and them guys, you know, older guys. I did that whole year. We in high school. Me and Steph, Kerry, we all in high school. You know, Half Man, Half Amazing, Wally Dixon. But we were young. We were the young kids on the block, you know. So every week, everybody trying to beat up on us. Every week. But we kept winning. And then I think that game took us over the hump with Joe Smith, you know, Mr. 911. He was going to be first pick in the NBA draft the next week. So they had Conrad McCrad, God bless the dead, Conrad McCrad, everything. So I had 40-some points on him.
911.
I came out my shell and hit the buzzer beater. I came out my shell. That was the birth of Kareem Reid at EBC, which was known as the Rucker. Me hitting the buzzer beater my first year against Joe Smith and them.
That's a legendary story. I needed to get that up. I needed to get that up on here because there's so many stories at 55th that people talk about, and I'm sure like every time you went there were stories like, yo, such and such gonna show up today. You know what I mean? So that was the beauty of it. I'm sure, like in playing in there, because you never knew who was going to show up.
Who was showing up, and then of course that, you know, when we fast forwarded to that you know, that year when it's EBC America, when we got, you know, playing against Baron Davis and Nate Robinson and Jamal Crawford, you know, the NBA guys. That's when they came out heavy, or playing against that Murder Inc. team when they had Lonnie Harrell and you know, stuff like that. So it was, every week, like you said, you never know who's gonna come. Master P would bring an NBA guy. Everybody had an NBA guy because I guess that was it at that time. God bless the dead. Again, Greg Marius, he was, you know, everybody want to play in 55th, so he was helping people select teams, which team they were going to play on and things like that. Or sometimes they was only there for one day, so it was like, oh, you got to play with this team. There's only 4 teams that's playing, so, you know, so it was like any given day you come into that park, you're going to get an NBA player.
Absolutely. And now talk about like, you know, because you didn't, you know, obviously at some point you left Mousy. And then you got with Fat Joe and Terror Squad.
Well, no, I came by when I left Mousy wasn't Fat Joe yet. When actually I didn't leave, you know, I went to Sugar Hill, which became Vacant Lot. Some of my guys that I grew up with wound up getting the team. And I wound up, you know, at the end of the day, it was getting crowded. You know, Mouse didn't push me. I was getting crowded. I probably wanted something new, actually, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. Mouse was always remained my family. It was always my family to this day, you know what I'm saying? But it was maybe time for me I was blossoming. It was time for me probably to move around. I already had one with Mouse or whatever, stuff like that. So I left for 2 years. 1 year I played and 1 year I sat out. So 1 year I played with Sugar Hill, and then the next year I didn't play the whole year. I was kind of mad or banned because I didn't get MVP. I felt that I supposed to get MVP of the whole season. Had numerous great games or whatever, and I was supposed to be an MVP, but I didn't get it. So the next year I was on my boycott, being a young dumb kid, which, you know, but I was traveling a lot anyway, and trying to pick a school. Well, notice after, and wound up reunite with Mouse when he went to Terror Squad. When Mouse left, I think he was Bad Boys. They went to Bad Boys. I didn't go with them to Bad Boys. I played with somebody else when Mouse was Bad Boy, but then when Joe confronted Mouse to come to Terror Squad, Mouse, of course, came and got his hitter. He came and got his point guard. So he brought his son back home.
No question about it. The terror era. Y'all called it, you know what I mean? So, you know, like at some point, you know, the ball stops bouncing at some point. For everybody. You know what I mean? So talk about, you know, when it was coming to that time for you, talk about like where your head was at. Were you prepared to make that transition? Was it an easy transition for you? Talk about that, because it's not easy for everybody to stop playing ball. That's all you've known.
It actually wasn't. It was very hard for me. Like I said, it was very hard with making some bad investments, money-wise, not going overseas when I was supposed to have been. You know, I played in probably every pro league out. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I won an NBDL championship when it was the D League with
Mm-hmm.
Asheville. I won an ABA championship with the Arkansas Rim Rockers. So I played with the Harlem Globetrotters. You know, I won a USBL championship. So every minor league I played in, the CBA and all that. When I was turning down $500,000, quarter, you know what I'm saying, 250,000. I was turning those down because I felt like I wanted to play in the NBA. That was my dream. When I really got into it, when I took basketball serious, of course, I wanted to play in the NBA. So, we won Kingdom too. Somebody asked about Kingdom. So yeah, I went. So after that, so I went over there to France late. Wound up making 2 All-Star games. Winning back-to-back skill challenge twice. And then, like I said, I signed a 2-year deal, and my team folded.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole thing with overseas, with me getting into the overseas part of the life, I didn't want to get over there. I heard overseas story where people weren't getting paid and all that. So I'm like, I'm not going to go a whole different country that I'm not familiar with, not to get paid. So that was a lot of my not going over there. You
Mm-hmm.
know, then, leading into me last cut of the when New Orleans Hornets with Baron Davis. That's when me and
Mm-hmm.
Baron got close. Me
Mm-hmm.
being the last cut and going down to the D League and leading the D League and assisting 2 years in a row and not getting called up. So it was just felt that I was so close to it or whatever. And then it snuck up on me with me not knowing, it was time to give it up or it was coming to an end. I probably, if that team wouldn't have folded, like I said, I had a lot of money invested into the team that folded or whatever. So with me coming back to New York without that whole summer, me buying a car, doing other things, financial things, I needed that 2 years. Probably I needed that 2-year deal. I
Mm-hmm.
did. So me coming back with not as much money that I thought I was gonna have, and me actually have to stay in New York. Usually it was New York for 2 months, 3 months. But now me having to be in New York for 12 months, for a whole year, and pay rent and see my family. It was a lot of pressure on me.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And me not with a plan. So
Right.
coaching, like I said, I wanted to coach, but I didn't know where to start. My pride was probably, I was stuck on my pride and I want to ask for nothing or, ask for help or whatever, things like that. So it was a real dark part of my life that time. And I probably was in there for like 2 years, not knowing what I was going to do. Well, not knowing what I wanted to do or whatever. I know I needed to finish school and things like that, but it was like leaving New York again to move to Arkansas was like, like really buckling
Yeah.
down, get back in that classroom. So it was like my low was my low. One of my best friends had got locked up, and people around me was disappearing. So it was just like, you know what, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
And like I said, I made a amends with myself. Like when July come, I'm leaving.
Mm-hmm.
People were trying to get me to coach their team that summer. I had coached the Fat Joe team the summer before. They
Mm-hmm.
wanted me to coach 55th and help bring
Mm-hmm.
55th back with the Terror Squad. And I just got on the plane and came to Arkansas, man. Like I tell you, with them 2 bags,
Yeah.
and it was history. Like from there.
Absolutely. So when you went out there with them 2 bags, did you know, like, when I go out there, I'm not coming back? You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna make
I
Arkansas
didn't.
my
I
home.
didn't have. I didn't have no other choice.
Okay.
I didn't have any other choice. Like I said, I was, I was halfway living on the streets. Like to be for real, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
and it was like, yeah, and that's me being real, like 100%. Like it was that. That's what it was coming to, like, or me doing something that was gonna help me for the rest of my life. Picking up,
Right.
like I said, picking up a habit, or you know what I'm saying, or a drug or something like that, and doing something that wasn't me.
Right.
So that was my whole thing. Like I knew I bought a one-way ticket, everything. You know what I'm saying? So it
Yeah.
was me just saying it was over for New York for me.
Nah, I feel you on that, and I appreciate you being transparent about that with us on that.
Yeah.
So now, like, so talk about your life in Arkansas now. Like, what are you up to? You got the degree now. What are you up to out there?
It's great. I've been coaching since I've been out here. I joined with a program, Arkansas athlete outreach, and it's a outreach program ran by a former Razorback, and he gave me a chance to train at his facility and handle day-to-day activities and events. So, event director there, putting on tournaments, putting on clinics for the kids. And then for the last 4 years, I've been coaching. I got them when they was in 5th grade when I got here, or 6th grade. Now I was coaching a good boys team, and I had a great girls team a couple of years ago where I got 3, 4 D1 prospects with the girls, but I'm not coaching them no more.
Mm-hmm.
This past year, I spent a lot of I got the shirt on. I spent a
Okay.
lot of time. I know your boy Jay on here from Team Takeover.
Yes, sir.
So last year I got the pleasure to travel with the Mocan family last year or whatever, during the EYBL circuits or whatever, stuff like that, and during the Peach Jam experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been working with them closely over the last couple of months, and actually hopefully this year if it opens back up,
Mm-hmm.
maybe help coaching on one of the teams this year with them or whatever.
Nah, that's amazing, man. And speaking,
Then this year we also I coached at a high school. I was a volunteer coach at a school out here called Harbor High School. We won the conference. First year coach, we won the conference. We finished up 24-5. So doing just whatever, trying to crack into it. Hopefully, I've been having a lot of contact with Coach Anderson and Coach Cleveland up at St. John's. Just put it out there, like with Terrence, and just going and letting everybody know that I finished school. I love basketball. I want to be into basketball. Well, that's my life. So
absolutely.
that was a big thing with me. Especially going to get the degree.
Absolutely. Nah, no question about it. And that's the first thing I thought about when that Arkansas staff came up here with your New York City
Salute,
ties.
my guy Randy Livingston on here. Salute.
Is he?
Yes.
Okay.
Real Coach Liv.
Okay, I gotta get Randy Livingston on the show. Randy Livingston, I'm coming for you, Randy Livingston. I need you on the show, Randy Livingston, man.
Shout out to T. Rencher.
Yes, sir. T. Wrench, my dude. T. Wrench is my guy, man. So, we thought, like, with the New York City ties that, you might get that shot on Coach Anderson's staff, and I'm putting it out in the atmosphere right now.
Yeah, I didn't have my degree when he got the job, but I spoke to him. Randy said he's here. What up?
Yeah, I got you. I'm reaching out to you, Randy.
So yeah, last year when he got the job, me and him spoke. Because the night before he got the job, he called me and asked me. He was on his way up there, whatever, stuff like that. What do I think of St. John's? And I gave him my blessings, and I told him what it was gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Or try to help him. What St. John's, the history, and what it's like. And
right.
So he told me, go take care of your business, and hopefully I'm here, Coach.
Yo, we need that. We need that sauce, man. I need them to help bring St. John's back to where they was, man, for sure, man. We need to make it hot again, man. So, as we get ready to wind this thing down, man, like, let me get your opinion on, why you think so many New York City kids are leaving New York City.
Guess we were talking. I guess it was funny because we were talking. Like I said, once again, I've been doing a lot of these podcasts or a lot of these conversations. Not saying podcast, just tapping into the Chuck Bryan show, tapping into other guys. And a kid got mad about a certain situation where we were trying to explain. I had to break it down to him, saying New York right now, or just to put it in perspective, it's the rules of certain people. You can't go as far. You can play in one tournament, and stuff like that. So you don't get. So New York is down. The talent is down. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, if you check on New York and DC basketball, DMV basketball, whatever things like that, you can see in that 80s and 90s and early 2000s, it's about 7, 8 killers on one team. You know what I'm saying? It's not just one. One is not a team. One is a star.
Right.
So it seems like, where you gonna get, like, every night it was a tough battle. Tuesday we playing at Cardinal Hayes. Saturday we playing Rice. You know what I'm saying? With the caliber of the guys. That's what I'm saying. With as a whole, it might be 1, 2 guys, but I'm talking about when it was 80 guys. So that's what I'm saying. So my things with talent wise, I feel like it's down because you don't get enough exposure now. You know, we say New York is New York, but New York got all the exposure. Growing up, I got all my exposure out of town.
Mm-hmm.
We're traveling the season. Like I said, we played in Beach Ball Classic. We played in San Diego. We went to Hawaii. We went to Alaska. And at the same times, like you said, so now these kids are going to the Oak Hills or the prep schools because they're going to they playing against these other.
Yes.
I see that Xavier Lutheran played against Prolific Prep.
Yes.
You know, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you know what I'm saying? Or it's 2-3 All-Americans in New York, like when I was growing up. So, yeah. Or in a practice, you're getting 8-9 college coaches at your practice because of what the guys – salute to the guys that, like I said, in St. Ray's that paved the way.
Mm-hmm.
So them coach wasn't there to see Kareem Reid at first.
Yeah.
T. Wrench and them made it that, you know, they know, oh, I got to be at St. Ray's because there's some talent there.
Yes.
You know, I got to be at this school because there's some talent there. Or, you know, they remember the 9th grader from the 10th grader from 2 years ago when they came. Now Kareem's a senior.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying with that, where somebody has to bring them there. Or like I said, so my thing with that, is down.
For
sure. People say it's not, but I as me looking in and you seeing what's happening and transpiring in New York, it's down to me looking out. It's not me hating on New York. It's me as one of the not founders, but me as the spokesman that went through it, and the OGs paved the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Nobody they not listening to the OGs.
Right.
And that's when I'm disappointed in New York basketball.
Absolutely.
Because these guys ain't listening to the OGs or getting advice. Like when I was growing up, I got advice. I'm going to see Kenny Anderson. I'm waiting after the game, or a guy like Future, or street ball legend. I'm picking his brain. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting and watching games. I'm not on my phone. I'm not on Instagram. I'm at the park. I'm playing 8 o'clock, but I'm at the 5 o'clock game watching.
Nah,
you
no
know,
question.
So it's like, it's more of you want to go at somebody's neck. And I grew up like that, but I still had the respect. Like I said, on the court, I was a monster. I bite your finger off or whatever, but off the court, I respected it. I wanted, I wanted to learn or whatever, but I had to have that to be who I am. I had to have that heart, or I had to make up, going back into The Last Dance last week, and they said some of the stories Mike made up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? to piss them off.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Or I got beef, but I didn't hate Steph's, but me and Steph we brothers. Been my brother, like he taught me a lot. But when we played against him, you wouldn't know that.
You have to.
Like, you look at that Golden Hoops, you look at something like my guy, Irvin Walker said, man, I didn't know you killed Steph like that. But that's, off the court, when you look back at it, but that wasn't my demeanor.
Right.
But I had to do that.
Yeah. Once you got between the lines, no doubt.
Yeah, we cool up. Yeah, ain't no shaking no hands with nothing. I made up fake stories.
Yeah. So I'm gonna hit you with this question. My one and final question. Give me Kareem Reid's top 5 opponents all time that you played against. Your 5 toughest opponents that you played against. On any level. It could be the street ball, it could have been in college, whatever. The 5 toughest that stand out to you. I know you already mentioned Steph, so I know Steph gotta be in your top 5.
Steph, Sham God, Jason Kidd, Booger Smith, and probably no disrespect, it's probably gonna be it's kind of hard, but I'm saying, like I said Steph, Sham,
JK,
Booger, and probably you can put, I don't even know. Like I said, it's kind of hard. Because it's Baron, of course. Oh, my fault. I ain't say Skip. I'm grateful.
Okay.
I'm bugging.
Okay.
Grateful.
Okay. Nah,
Yeah.
it's like I said, when you played against so many, it's hard to just lock it down into 5. You understand what I'm saying?
But the
It's
toughest
tough.
NBA person I've guarded was Baron Davis.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. No question. Listen,
Nah, like I
man.
said, and it's funny because like I said, with those 5 guys, were that I mentioned was me and Rafa lived together. Me, Rafa, and Steph lived together. We really like lived together
Yeah,
in certain parts of our life. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? We lived together, so it was every day with them 3, with
yeah.
them
No
2.
doubt. No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
No
Sham
question.
was Sham. When Sham
Yeah,
came, it was everybody was say Sham.
yeah.
But yeah, when it was basically like I said, Ray for Steph, Sham, Booger. Yep.
Absolutely, no question. So yeah, we're gonna wrap this up, man. But I've been waiting for this. And like I said, we talked before this how excited I was to have you on here,
Mm-hmm.
and I appreciate your support. And checking in on my show as we try to grow this thing, man. But I'm rooting for you, and I hope one day to see that you here at St. John's, man,
Yes.
bringing this game back in the metropolitan area like we knew it
Mm-hmm.
was when we grow up, man. So thank you so much, man, Reem, for coming on, man. God bless you, man. Keep doing what you're doing,
You
dog.
keep doing what you're doing, man. It's funny because right before we got on, I had one of my frat brothers down. His son is trying to do a podcast, but he wound up looking at your page and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And he was asking me about how he get into doing podcasts and stuff like that. I said, man, it's just basically it's the guy that's doing the podcast, and it's the guy, like I said, pumping your brand up. He's a young
Absolutely.
kid, 17 years old, trying to come out with a podcast. So,
Yo,
like
definitely
I
tell him to
said,
DM me. Definitely tell him to DM
yes,
me. I'll give
I
him
will.
anything I got, man. For
I
sure.
will.
All right. I appreciate you, baby.
Salute.
Yes, sir.
All right.